Good afternoon. My name is Miriam Johnson, and you have tuned in to the makings of a video gaming law professor. So, today we are going to talk a little bit about copyright law in the context of video games. Copyright is a type of intellectual property protection that gives creators exclusive rights to their original works. This means that they control how their works are used and who can use them. In the context of video games, copyrights can protect several elements, including art and graphics, the visual elements of a game, such as characters, environments, and animations, sound, music effects, any original music, soundtracks, and sound effects created for the game, story and dialogue, the narrative, storyline, and dialogues between the characters, software code, the actual code that makes the game run. And so a big part of copyright law is something being fixed in a tangible medium of expression. And so a tangible medium can be a manuscript, can be a piece of paper, but the combination of words, symbols, and letters, which typically is what makes up software code, is really the undergirding of the video gaming law space being protected by copyrights. So the rights that are conferred to you via copyright. So copyright grants the creator several exclusive rights, including reproduction, the right to make copies of the work, distribution, the right to sell or distribute copies to the public performance, the right to perform the work publicly, such as playing the game soundtrack at a concert, or playing Beyonce's music, or playing anyone's music, which is why certain industries like karaoke and even doing too many covers can run into this public performance fees. And then derivative works, which is the right to create new works based on the original, such as sequels or adaptations. Copyright also confers negative rights. Negative rights refers to the rights that allow copyright holders to prevent others from using their works without the permission. So preventing unauthorized copying, stopping others from making copies of the game without authorization, preventing unauthorized distribution, stopping others from selling or distributing copies of the game without permission. This could be called bootlegging. Preventing unauthorized adaptation, stopping others from creating derivative works like unofficial sequels, mods, or without any permission. So you have the right to stop others from copying, distributing, or unauthorized adaptations when you maintain a copyright. So in order to get the other part of this is that you have a copyright once you write it down. But in order to go ahead and solidify that protection, you need to file it with the U.S. Copyright Office. So you prepare the work, so you fix it in a tangible medium of expression, because the idea, you can't copyright the idea. It has to be fixed in a tangible medium of expression. Complete the application, pay the fee, submit the work, and then you can go ahead and throughout that process to get things copyrighted. Okay, so personally today, as I've been walking through the ideas of copyright, I'm seeming to find one, because it's not just, like I said, the music and the graphics, it's also sculptural work, motion pictures, architectural work. So maybe even some of the world building inside of the games, depending on what they're based on, could also be copyrightable materials. Some of the things that I found really interesting today, I think, one, we start with the Constitution. So Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 provides that to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for a limited time to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. The writings language is the focus to derive the power of Congress to make the laws for copyright. So it's a constitutional law, and it is really important that both storytelling and as it has become in some ways oral history or just general history, is protected by the Constitution, because that's how you continue to get history. I think video games are a capsule of both joy and also historical reference to how far we've come, what stories do we tell online, what stories do we tell via the game, how we, even how we show human interaction and gender interactions with who gets saved from what, who is the protagonist in what stories. And so I think it's really important that it's really important that I understand that the basis of this particular industry is copyright law, because back to the beginning, the games are about the stories. And the stories are essentially, can be idealistic or can be, the fantasies in some creators' heads, but they are pieces of history that we continue to cherish. And copyright law is really one of the best vehicles to do that kind of protecting. Is there anything else I saw today? Oh, the other thing is back to the length, which probably helps games a lot. Let's see. So in the US, the length of copyright works is created after 1978 can easily be remembered as 95 years after publication or 120 years after the creation for corporate creations. For personal creations, it's the life of the author plus 70 years. Life of the author plus 70 years. Okay. I think the other part of that, as they've been detailing, is life of the author plus 70 years. But if you've got the rights to create new sequels, you've got the rights to create several different adaptations, each of those things also have copyrights. So as you create ice cream water guns part 1, life of the author plus 70, and then you do part 2, life of the author plus 70, and then you do some other iteration, you can continue to rack up on copyright, both links and copyrights, as you continue to use your rights to make derivatives or make sequels of your game, or essentially your story that is housed in a tangible medium of expression. Sometimes that's a book, sometimes that is the digital file that the source code is in. So I think it's a really cool way to start thinking about what is the source of my game's story, and how can I navigate these areas of intellectual property, copyright being the first stop, to make sure that I've got a solid game, I've got the rights to the music, if I've got my own custom music, or I have anybody that I want to support the soundtracks, or even some of the sounds or catchphrases of the characters inside the game. All of those things can be written down first and can be sent to the U.S. Copyright Office, and you start with that building block and build everything else really on top of that. Yeah, you build everything else on top of that. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think that's it for today. And yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.